Hello and welcome to another video here on Powerdojo. In this video, we're going to have a look at part 1 of grouping and binning of columns in Power BI. We use this functionality to bring together data with business logic and higher level data analysis. Now, before we begin, I just want to show you terminologies that we use in grouping and binning. In today's video, we're going to have a look at the option on the left called list. This kind of grouping is carried out on categorical values alone. So for instance, if you have values in your column which are essentially colors such as red, blue and green, you can use the grouping of type list, or furthermore you can group your data as per continents, as per countries, etc. The other kind of grouping is called bins. We are not going to have a look at this kind of grouping in this video. I'll be making a separate video on bins, but you just need to remember for now that bins only take in numerical values, whereas the list type takes in categorical values. So let's switch to Power BI for the demonstration. Over here we have a Power BI report in which we have this visual where we have a column chart with different countries and the number of World Cups that they have won. So there have been 8 different champions of the FIFA World Cup so far. Brazil with the highest number of wins with 5. Now, although this kind of visual is helpful, what if we want to depict the number of wins by each continent, or by, let's say, South America alone and Europe alone? So how we can do that? So there are a couple of ways that we can do that. What you can do is, on the right side of your data pane, click on the column of country, click on more options, and right at the bottom you'll see this option called new group. Let's click on it. Let's see what happens. So this window pops up once we select the new group option. Now we want to group values as per the continent they belong to. So it's South America. Let's group the 3 winners, Argentina, Brazil and Uruguay, in one group, and the other 5 all belonging to Europe. Now you see, every time I made a selection of values that I want in one group, I clicked on the group button. If I want to undo it, I can always click on the ungroup button over here. Now let's change the name of these 2 groups. I want to change it to South America and Europe. Now at the bottom you will see we also have an option to include other group. I mean, if there are any new additions to the data set which do not belong to these 2 groups, will be included in the other group. But for the time being, I will unselect this. I will say OK. And how do we know that the groups that we have made are values which are of the categorical kind? Is, you will see over here, the group type is list. So I'll click on OK. Now the visual obviously hasn't changed, but you'll see a new column has been added to our data set. You can even go in table view to check out this new column, which is called country groups. If needed, we can change it to continent. This. Now what we can do over here is, instead of selecting countries, I can select continent. Now if I have to hover over the 2 columns, you see that South America has 10 World Cup wins, putting together Brazil, Argentina and Uruguay, whereas Europe has 12 wins. Not only that, if we want to create a group of another kind, for, let's say, create groups with countries that have their name beginning with a B, for instance, for Brazil, it begins with B. So Brazil will be in that group and the rest of the countries will be in a different group. So this time around, I will show you how you can create another group in the table view. I will select the country column first of all, and on this column tool tab, you see the data groups option. So if I were to click on this, it will redirect me to the same window where we can group the countries as per our requirement. So I have over here Brazil, and the rest of them will be in another group, countries beginning with B, and the others. Say OK. Now see, it has added another group over here. I have to change the visual one more time. Unselecting continent and choosing country groups, you see the visual has now changed. The grouping has changed. So the countries that have name beginning with B, which is only one, Brazil in our case, it has 5 wins, whereas the other teams have a total of 17 World Cup wins. The country's name do not begin with alphabet B. So this is how you can create a data group of type list. The data group functionality provides a user interface that allows you to maintain groups with the least effort. You can always click on more options on the column name and edit the group if required. You can always group and ungroup as per your requirement. At times, the client that you're working for will be requiring different groupings of data in their visuals. So this is something which you can keep in mind in order to create visuals which are grouped based on the values in the column. So that's all for creating a data group of type list. Next time around, we'll have a look at creating a data type of type bins. Let me know in the comments below of what you thought about this video. Do not forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.